God's original plan for the church, God's original plan for his people and his creation was always coexistence, always coexistence. If we look at the very time of the creation, if we look at the very book of Genesis in the Bible, we see God's creation of man. We see God's placement of man in the Garden of Eden. We see through the very disobedience of man, not in man speaking to the serpent, not in man communicating with the animals, not in man communicating with the serpent, in this case illustrative of good and evil, of Satan. Not in man's communication or speaking with the serpent, but of man's very disobedience towards God. Disobedience in not obeying his instructions, of not participating of the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Come in, this is where the error is. It was not in the coexistence, it was in the disobedience towards God. And yet ever since the church has continued to digress, the people have continued to digress, gradual drift, as they very hid from the very face of God, hid from his very face, hid from his very presence. In discovering their nakedness, they hid as they heard him coming in the garden, led eventually to their very banishment and putting out of their provision. And man has continued on on a trend, on a path of retreat, of withdrawal. Throughout existence, man has continued on a path of withdrawal, a path of retreat.